The regular season games at Stage 1 concluded this Sunday with 4 games that were not only very entertaining, but also ended up having major implications on who made for stage playoffs. When the dust settled, we had our 8 remaining playoff teams after 3 more were eliminated. So let's get into this review and see what went down. Sunday and Day 2 was kicked off by the Philadelphia Fusion against the Paris Eternal, with the newly eliminated Paris looking to finish the stage with a positive record, and in turn severely dent Fusion's playoff chances. The series started on Busan, and it was the Fusion who came out of the gates hot, taking round 1 on the back of some good team coordination and ultimate usage. However, the Eternal, clearly frustrated in their playoff hopes being dashed by Washington, soon recovered after this, behind Bembest, who led an aggressive assault on Sadow's Reinhardt that wore down Philly and led to 2-round wins, thus leading to a 1-0 lead for Paris. From this point on though, it appeared as if Fusion had figured out the aggressive playstyle of Paris, and subsequently waited for their opportunities to punish Cruz and Bembest to flip the momentum of the series, as the team took King's Row and tied the match at the half. After the break, the competitive contest that we had been enjoying appeared to disappear, with Paris once again falling apart as they were completely held on Horizon Point A, with Sadow feeling a lot more comfortable having now switched over to his preferred Winston pick. Fusion had little trouble on their attack and took the first point with plenty of time to spare, so they went into the final map on Rialto for a 2-1 lead in maps. This final map arguably perfectly represented the series, as Philadelphia methodically finished the map with great team coordination and ultimate usage, whilst Paris had to rely solely on ultimates to find any success. On their own attack, the Eternal couldn't get anything done, and their ult usage was disastrous, with bad gravitons from Shadowburn and poor transcendences from Hip. This resulted in a first point hold from Philly to win the series 3-1 and lock in their playoff spot, whilst Paris' 4th defeat fully confirmed a massive downturn in fortunes of their first 2 weeks, with some crushing recent defeats. In the only match without playoff implications, the Washington Justice faced the Florida Mayhem in their search for their first win, and all seemed to be going great for the Justice to begin with, as they rushed out to a 2-0 lead at halftime, with some effective team coordination and ultimate usage, especially from Sansom and Addo. But most of the time, it was really Florida's own ineffective ultimate usage and coordination that threw away great chances for them to win on Control and Hybrid, with Swan and Chris yet again the main culprits. On the precipice of their first win, the Justice needed only 1 map, but BKB's Sombra in the second half looked to just give Mayhem the edge in the crucial team fights, as they first edged out an overtime win on Volskaya before a great overtime push on Dorado proved too much for Washington to match when running into an EMP. After 4 maps, we were tied at 2-2, and it all came down to Ilios to see whether the Justice could pick up their first win, or instead, if Florida would avoid the upset by completing the reverse sweep. After the Ruins point, it appeared that we had our answer, as the 3-3 Goats composition of the Mayhem simply rolled over the Justices, who themselves could not respond at all, and looked to be choking away their best chance of victory so far. However, with the series seemingly in the Mayhem's grasp, they decided to run a weird Wrecking Ball 3-3 on Lighthouse that found no success and swung all the momentum back to the Justice. This decision would prove fatal, as in the big moments on Well, it was Washington who found the kills, taking the map and as such bring them their first victory 3-2, but no longer means that they are the worst team in the league. Game 3 of Day 2 held the most playoff implications, with 3 teams' playoff futures to be decided, as well as the effect it would have on the overall seeding, as the Houston Outlaws played the Atlanta Reign. The series largely came down to who would win between the Sombra Goats of the Outlaws and the traditional 3-3 of the Reign. Ilios was a very close affair between the two sides, but it seemed that Muma and Houston's reluctance to switch off of Orisa on the well point would eventually cost them, as they struggled in every future engagement and never retook the point, letting Atlanta go 1-up in the series. As we went on to King's Row, behind some huge EMP shatter combos from Muma and Dante, the Outlaws found their feet again to clutch the map and keep it tied at the break, with Atlanta struggling to find an effective response to Dante's continual pressure with Hacks and EMP on the backline. Dallas Fuel fans watched with bated breath, knowing the only outcome that would keep them in the playoff hunt would be a 3-2 Outlaws win, so the fans still dared to dream. On Horizon Lunar Colony though, the team seemed to become stuck when faced with an Orisa Bastion setup on defense from Atlanta, but surprisingly was never approached with a Genji, but had found results as shown by Chengdu. With point A held, it did not take long for the Reign to force their way through on attack and take them to within one map of the Stage 1 playoffs. Like on King's Row, Map 4 on Rialto became a back and forth contest between the well coordinated 3-3 of Atlanta against the EMP shatter combos of the Outlaws, and in the end it was Defran and co who had the edge. In the final fight, Dogman hit a massive 6-man Bionade into a Grav to wipe Houston and give Atlanta the 3-1 series win, which confirmed their playoff spot and officially eliminated both Texas sides in Houston and Dallas. With only one remaining regular season game left in Stage 1, we had the Guangzhou Charge up against the Vancouver Titans, with the Charge needing the win to replace Boston in the playoff picture, and Vancouver needing a comfortable win to take the top seed from the New York Excelsior. After their close series last time round, where the Sombra and off-meta comps of Guangzhou appeared to catch the Titans off guard, many were predicting another close series, in which there could be a potential upset. However, it did not take long at all for us to recognise that this was not going to be the case, as Vancouver came out at a super high level of performance, clutching out teamfight wins when they had no right to. The Charge didn't necessarily play to their complete potential, but on the whole it was more the dominance of the Titans that explains their victory, as they 4-0'd their opposition with the final map on Dorado ending nicely in a C9 from Guangzhou. With this, Boston were the last team confirmed into the Stage 1 playoffs, with the Charge just missing out, whilst Vancouver stole the top spot and seed from New York. Now looking at my predictions, I had a much stronger day, getting 3 out of 4 right to end the week even at 4-4 and take my overall Stage 1 record to 41-29. Most of the games on Sunday went how I expected, except perhaps not as close, and even though Washington did beat Mayhem, Florida could have easily won the final map if they hadn't played Hammond. As the regular season of Stage 1 concludes, we now have our standings, and those who have locked in their Stage 1 playoff spots. The 8 teams to make it are the Vancouver Titans, New York Excelsior, Philadelphia Fusion, Toronto Defiant, Atlanta Reign, San Francisco Shock, Seoul Dynasty, and lastly the Boston Uprising, with the official seeding still yet to be announced. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. You can expect my power rankings and breakdown tomorrow at some point. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed for continuing Overwatch League content in the future.